The Book Am-Duat. Chapter 11. Duat, Rian Qerert Khatu. The majesty of this great god takes up his position in this circle, and he addresses words to the gods who are in it. The name of the gate of this city through which this great god have entered is Sekunduashu. The name of this city is Rian Qerert Khatu. The name of the hour of the night which guides this great god is Sebetnetuaakesfitseba Empertef. 1. The boat of the sun, in which stands the god under a canopy formed by the body of the serpent Mehen, on his head are horns and a disc. On the high prow of the boat is a disc, encircled by a uraeus, which is called Pestu. The text reads, "This great god journeys on his way in the city in this picture, and his sailors, who are the gods, guide him into the eastern horizon of the sky." The star Pastet which is on its boat guides this great god into the ways of the darkness which gradually lightens, and illuminates those who are on the earth. 2. 12 gods, who march before the boat of the god bearing the serpent Mehen on their heads. Their names are 1. Many. 2. Semsem. 3. Sekenu. 4. Shetu. 5. Amma. 6. Amu. 7. Urta. 8. Shepu. 9. Netaru. 10. Athpi. 11. Ermanu. 12. Fa. The text reads, "Those who are in this picture are in front of this great god, and they carry the serpent Mehentah on their heads into this city, and they travel onwards in the following of Ra into the eastern horizon of the sky. This god cries to them by their names, and he decrees for them what they must do. And Ra says to them, O you who keep ward over your serpent figures with your 2 hands, lift you up your heads, whose hands are strong, whose feet are firm, who perform the journeyings which you are bound to make, who make long your steps as you go, unite you yourselves to your offerings in the hall of the eastern horizon." Their work is to make the serpent Mehen to travel to the eastern hall of the horizon, and they unite themselves to their habitations after this great god have passed through the darkness and have taken up his place in the horizon. 3. The serpent Semshet. On his back rests the red crown, and in an angle of it is a human head. 4. The serpent Semnebthit. On his back rests the white crown, from each side of which projects a bearded human head. The text reads, "These are the hidden images of Heru which are at the second door of the thick darkness, on the holy road to Sate. When this great god cries out to them, these hidden heads make their appearance, and then they swallow their own forms." 5. Neath of the phallus, wearing the red crown. 6. Neath of the red crown, wearing the red crown. 7. Neath of the white crown, wearing the white crown. 8. Neath the young, wearing the white crown. The text reads, "Those who are in this picture of this door are in the form which Heru made. When this god cries out to them by their names, they spring into life at the sound of his voice, and it is they who guard the holy gate of the city of Sate, which is unknown, and cannot be seen, and cannot be looked at." Above the upper register is a line of text, which reads, "This is the hidden circle of the Duat through which this god makes his journey so that he may come forth into the eastern horizon of the sky. It swallows eternally its images in the presence of the god Rek, who dwells in this city, and then it gives them to those who are born and come into being in the earth. Whosoever shall make an exact copy of these forms according to the representations of the same at the eastern portion of the hidden palace of the Duat, and shall know it, shall be a spirit well equipped both in heaven and earth, unfailingly, and regularly and eternally." In the upper register are, 1. The god Aparanebcheta, above whose body, at the neck, is a disc from which proceed 2 human heads, the one wearing the white crown and the other the red crown. In his right hand he holds the scepter, and in the left the emblem of a life. The text reads, "He who is in this picture stands up for Ra, and he never departs from his place in the Duat." 2. A huge serpent, with 2 pairs of human feet and legs, and a pair of large wings. By its side stands a god with a disc upon his head, and on each side of his head is an utchat. His hands are stretched out at right angles to his body, and each hand touches the end of one of the serpent's wings. The text reads, "When this god cries out to him that is in this picture, the form of the god Tem proceeded from his back, but afterwards it swallows itself." The words may form the name of the winged serpent. 3. A serpent, with a mummied god seated on his back. Above the god is written Chetes, i.e., its body, and by the tail of the serpent is Shetu. The text reads, Qerert herself is above the stars, her work is to cast the living ones to Ra every day, she then swallows her forms in this city of the 11th hour, and she is one of those who follow the god. 4. The god Tepui, i.e., the two-headed, one head faces to the right and the other to the left. 5. The god Khnemri-Nit, ram-headed, holding a scepter in his right hand, and Ankh in his left. 6. The god Nerta, with both hands raised in adoration. 7. The god Auafm-Kanef, who has two snakes' heads in the place of a human head, his hands and arms are concealed. 8. The god Aptaui, his hands and arms are concealed. 9. The god Mer-Xauaf, in form similar to the preceding. 10. The god Onauaf, in similar form. 11. The god Reset-Afu, in similar form. 12. The god Tuaharu, in similar form. 13. The god Ma. 14. The god Masekti. 15. The god Hepa. The text which refers to these reads, Those who are in this picture does this great God call by their names, saying, My hidden appearances and my secret radiance cause your life, O you who advance to your shadows, who are free to move or are shrouded in respect of the arms by the form in his holy places, whose breaths are of the utterances of my mouth, which gives life and you speak with, whose offerings are on my boat on which your souls live, you who have water at the source of Nu in which the dwellers in the Am-Duat wash with shouts of joy, perform that which it is your right to do, and let your souls be in the following of my created things. Their work in the Am-Duat is to make to advance the hidden things of this great God to the hidden house each day when they appear with this great God in the upper heaven. 16. A goddess, seated on the backs of two serpents, which lie side by side, and appear to issue from her feet, her left hand grasps the body of one serpent, and her right is held up before her face. Her name is Netonkyo. In front of her are three other goddesses, who are similarly seated. Their names are Netku, Nerdubwi, and Marant Netaru. The text reads, Those who are in this picture have their arms on the earth and their feet and legs in the darkness. When this great God cries to them in their own bodies, they utter cries, they do not depart from their places, but their souls live in the word of the forms which come forth from their feet every day. When the shades appear, the winds which are in the Am-Duat cease from the faces of these goddesses. In the lower register are 1. Haru, hawk-headed and wearing a disc, leaning with his right shoulder upon a long staff, and holding in his left hand a boomerang, one end of which is in the form of a serpent's head. 2. A huge serpent, called the Everlasting Set, standing upon his tail. 3. A large pit, with a vaulted roof, filled with fire, in which the enemies of Ra are being consumed. The name of the pit is Hatet-Ketets, and is presided over by a goddess with the head of a lioness, who holds in her hands a large knife, and pours fire into it from her mouth. 4. A smaller pit, with a vaulted roof, filled with fire, in which the enemies are being consumed. The name of the pit is Hatet-Hantues, and it is presided over by a goddess with a human head, who holds in her hands a large knife, and pours fire into it from her mouth. 5. A pit similar to the above, in which the souls are being consumed. The name of the pit is Hat-Nikanit, and it is presided over by a goddess as in number 4. 6. A similar pit, in which the shades are being consumed. The name of the pit is Hat-Nemat-Set, and it is presided over by a goddess as in number 4. 7. A similar pit, in which the heads are being consumed. The name of the pit is Hatsefues, and it is presided over by a goddess as in number 4. 8. A very large pit, with a vaulted roof, filled with fire, in which are immersed, head downwards, for male figures. The name of this pit is Ansekitu, the valley of those who are turned upside down. 9. For goddesses, each one with the sign for eastern desert on her head. Their names are 1. Pesai, 2. Rikit, 3. Hershaues, 4. Sate. 10. The god Her-Utu-F, holding a scepter in his left hand, and the sign of a life, an Ankh, in his right. The text reads, The majesty of this god utters the decree, saying, Hack in pieces and cut apart the bodies of the enemies and the members of the dead who have been turned upside down. O my father Asar, let me come forth from it. My father, having once been helpless, have struck you down, he have cut up your bodies, he have hacked in pieces your spirits and your souls, and have scattered in pieces your shadows, and have cut in pieces your heads. You shall never more exist, you shall be overthrown, and you shall be cast down headlong into the pits of fire, and you shall not escape therefrom, and you shall not be able to flee from the flames which are in the serpent, said he. The fire of Khatu is against you, the flames of Khatu are against you, the blazing heat of Khatu is against you, Khatu is against you, and she stabs at you, and hacks you in pieces, and cuts you up in such wise that you shall never again see those who are living upon the earth. As for those who are in this picture in the Duat, it is the majesty of Am-Duat who gives the order for their slaughter each day. Those who are in this picture, who are depicted with the enemies of Asar of the Duat, and with Khatu, who is the guardian of this circle, live by means of the voice of the enemies, and by the cries of entreaty of the souls and shadows which have been placed in their pits of fire.